Hi, it's Summer, and today I have a book haul for you. These are all the books that I purchased during the spring and summer, and also just the last couple of weeks kind of leading up to fall. I keep them all on this cart. First of all, just because it's cute, but also because, as you can tell, I have a rainbow bookshelf. And so if I want to put a book on the shelf, I have to move every single book to make room for it. So rather than going through that and doing it every single time I get a new book, I just kind of save them up on this cart and then put them away all at once when the cart is full. It's kind of something new that I've started doing because I've only really had this rainbow bookshelf set up for probably almost a year now. And honestly, it is my favorite thing that I've ever done. I'm obsessed with it. I've had people ask me if it's worth it, and 100%. It's the favorite thing about my house. It makes me so happy when I look at it. It's so satisfying. I am going to be making a separate video putting all of these books away, so it's going to be kind of like a bookshelf organization video. So keep an eye out for that coming up. You can't really see right now, but the bookshelves are actually decorated for Halloween right now. So I'll be kind of like showing off those decorations and stuff in that video. I also just wanted to apologize in advance for my really loud AC. It's gonna be blasting on and off during this video and it's gonna be so annoying, so I'm so sorry. I'm going to start off with The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. I think this is a magical realism romance between a woman living in an apartment and a man who lived in the same apartment 7 years earlier. And they're able to like interact with each other somehow. This has been getting rave reviews from my friends, so I'm really excited to read it. Next I have The Book Eaters by Sun Yee. I've actually already read this and I really enjoyed it. It's about a society of people called the Book Eaters. They literally eat books as food and they retain all of the information that comes from those books. Also within the Book Eater Society, there every once in a while is a mind eater that is born and they eat the minds of people. Very unique and thought-provoking book. This next one is called Waif by Samantha Kolsnick. It's an indie published novella that I actually got from my friend Gwen through a blind date with a book. It's sapphic horror with body horror, and I literally can't wait to read it. This one is Ascension by Nicholas Binge. It's a sci-fi thriller about a mountain that randomly appears out of the middle of the ocean one day and a group of scientists that go to explore it. This next book is a new all-time favorite. It's The Wishing Game by Meg Schaefer. This one has found family, a book within a book. It's whimsical and heartwarming. It'll make you cry. And it's just a beautiful book. I actually purchased this after I had already listened to the audiobook, but I loved it so much that I needed my own copy for my shelves. This one is Garden Spells by Sarah Addison Allen. This one is cozy fantasy about a family of witches. It's quirky and funny and magical and heartwarming. And there's also a magical apple tree in the backyard that throws apples at people. Next I have Hooky Volume 3 by Miriam Bonastre-Tour. I literally cannot wait to read this fall. This is a graphic novel series about two twin witches that miss the bus for magic school and the adventure that they go on. It's so cute. I love it. I have volume 2 and this one on my fall TBR. Next I have another graphic novel. This is The Girl from the Sea by Molly Knox Ostertag. This is a queer middle grade coming of age story, and it also has themes of eco-consciousness and saving the ocean. Also, thank you Danielle so much for sending me this book. Next I have another book that was gifted to me and it's The Secret Garden. I think these are the Wordsworth editions, but like look how pretty. Like even the back is just gorgeous. Thank you so much to my friend Amy for sending this to me. This next one is one of the books that I got during my girls trip in Virginia back in April. There's a few books from that trip that'll come up. This one is Vinegar Girl by Anne Tyler. This cover, are you kidding me? It's beautiful. All I know about this one is that it's a retelling of The Taming of the Shrew. Next I have Boy Parts by Eliza Clark. This one was sent to me by the publisher through Biblio Lifestyle on Instagram. I think this one is supposed to be pretty literary. It takes place in London and it follows an artist and they kind of get involved with like drugs and alcohol. It's also blurbed by Julia Armfield, who wrote Our Wives Under the Sea, which I gave 5 stars last year and really loved. I'm really hoping this will be a weird one. This is another book from the girls trip. This is Witch Hat Atelier Volume 1. This one is a manga and I'm pretty sure that it's cozy fantasy. This is another one that was sent to me by the author through Biblio Lifestyle, and it's Juniper and Thorn by Ava Reed. This is fantasy and I also think that it has some aspects of like folk horror. It follows the main character and her sisters, who are the last true witches. There's a curse and a monster, and it sounds really good. Next, I have Half a Soul by Olivia Atwater. This is another book that I had to purchase a physical copy for myself after loving the audiobook. This one is also cozy fantasy about a woman who is cursed. When she was a child, her soul was cut in half. She acts a little bit differently because of this and people think that she's odd. And this follows her during the London dating season. And it's also kind of like a grumpy romance. And it's my favorite thing. I loved this book. Another girls trip book, this is Dietland by Sarai Walker. My friend Gwen recommended this to me. I think this is supposed to be kind of a weird book and go against diet culture. I'm really excited to read this one. I should have just done these all together, but this is another girls trip book. This is The Fairy Bargains of Prospect Hill by Rowena Miller. This cover is beautiful. The blurb on the back says, on Prospect Hill, you can get nearly anything you want from the Fae, if you know how to ask and if you can pay the price. That's all I know about it. This is a graphic novel that I actually thrifted. It's Persepolis by Marjane Satrapi. This is a graphic memoir about growing up in Iran. This isn't the typical type of graphic novel that I gravitate towards, but I've heard nothing but good things about it, and I feel like it's going to be a really important read. I have another thrifted book. This is The Turn of the Key by Ruth Ware. I've already read this one and I have a hardcover copy. It's one of my all-time favorite books, so I mainly got this so that I could lend it out to people. I think it was like $1 at the thrift store and it's in brand new condition. Another girls trip book. This is Just Like Home by Sarah Gailey. Another book that I listened to on audio and just had to get a physical copy for myself. I love this cover as well, which feels weird to say because there's like a bleeding house on the cover. This is about a woman who's returning to her childhood home to take care of her mother who's on her deathbed, and there are some really weird family secrets that kind of start to unfold. I want to keep it vague because I feel like this book is better to go into without knowing a whole lot. It's such a good horror book, so if you need something to read this spooky season, I recommend this one. This one I also thrifted. It's This Time Tomorrow by Emma Straub. This cover is beautiful. This kind of sounds like 13 Going on 30, but reversed. It's about a woman who wakes up in 1996 on the morning of her 16th birthday. I'm very intrigued by this one. Another thrifted book is The One by John Mars. This one is sci-fi and it says, a simple DNA test is all it takes. Just a quick mouth swab and soon you'll be matched with your perfect partner, the one you're genetically made for. So it's this company that makes it possible for you to find your actual like soulmate. And I think that it just follows different people in different situations, deciding whether or not they want to do the DNA testing and just kind of like how this affects people. It's such an interesting concept and I've heard tons of good things about this book. Also from the girls trip, I have Cloud Cuckoo Land by Anthony Doerr. I have a feeling that this book is going to be 5 stars. Oh, I just opened it and it has our itinerary from the girls trip. I'm gonna cry. All I really know about this one is that I think it's supposed to be kind of whimsical, like maybe some magical realism, and it has multiple perspectives that we're following throughout time. Like, I can't really tell you why, but I just feel like it's gonna be a new favorite book of mine when I read it. I think this is the last of my girls trip books. This is The Astonishing Color of After by Emily X.R. Pan. Another beautiful cover. This one has actually been on my radar for a really long time, and I'm only just now getting around to buying it. I'm pretty sure that this one is magical realism and it deals with grief. This girl's mother has passed away and she believes that she turned into a bird. I've heard it's really beautiful but sad, and I think I'm gonna have to be in the right mindset to pick this up, but I'm excited to pick it up. I feel like this one is going to be no surprise. But it's Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. I don't think I need to tell you what this book is about, but for me it lived up to the hype and I wanted to have my own copy. All right, we are down to the last 2 books and both of them were actually thrifted. This one is Shiver by Maggie Stiefvater. I actually first read this when I was either a sophomore or junior in high school, and I remember being obsessed with it, and it was like my whole entire personality for a semester. I saw this while I was thrifting and it's in like perfect condition, so I thought it would be fun to just have for like nostalgia, but I also feel like I do want to reread this eventually. This one is a YA paranormal romance about werewolves, and 16-year-old Summer was obsessed with it. My last book on this list is Devil House by John Darnielle. I know nothing about this except that I'm pretty sure it's either a horror or a thriller. I thought the cover looked really cool. This one actually does not have very good reviews, but I feel like that makes me want to read it even more. So those are all the books that I've purchased in the last few months. Let me know if you've read any of them or if there's any that I should make a priority. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.